Michael Morales says they sent out an offer to Leon Edwards to fight him in November. That's the fight they're looking for. He's waiting to hear back if Leon Edwards and his team accept. The champ JDM will fight Makhachev next. Bilal Muhammad wants to fight Kamaru Usman. Sean Brady could take on Rachmanov. Leon Edwards could fight Michael Morales. And then Ian Machado Gary could take on Joaquin Buckley. And that would take care of the top 7 and the champ. Brandon Royval looking to fight Brendan Moreno for a third fight at UFC Noche in September. They're 1-1 against each other. Royval said he was going to move up to 135 if he didn't get a title shot after his last fight, and he won't get a title shot after his last fight because he lost to Van, but I guess he's changed his mind and he's staying at 125 and he wants a trilogy with Moreno. Terrence McKinney looking to fight Benoit Saint-Denis because Benoit Saint-Denis announces that he's going to return September 6th at UFC Paris, that fight night card. And Terrence McKinney says, that gives me 60 days to cut weight. Terrence McKinney, if they fought, would be looking for a first-round stoppage, and Benoit would look to drown him in the later rounds. Mateusz Gamrot was looking to fight Benoit Saint-Denis, but he ain't. You should have put the papers in with that pen. You're lucky that the UFC doesn't want me to smash you in your homeland at UFC Paris.
You like that condensed milk? You like that?
Give it some earth.
You love it.
Nice and earthy. All right.
Modestas Bukauskas will be taking on Paul Craig at that UFC Paris card on September 6th. Bukauskas is coming off a split decision win over Kutalaba, and he's won 3 in a row. Craig is coming off that no contest with Bellato. He upkicked Bellato at the last second of the first round, and it was an illegal upkick because Bellato was grounded. People accused Bellato of trying to fake his way to a disqualification victory, but it ended up being a no contest. 19-year-old Alice Pereira will be making her UFC debut September 13th. She says, September 13th, the time has come. My debut UFC Fight Night in Texas. The war will be against Mexican Montserrat Rendon. Time for the world to meet the Golden Girl. That's the card, which is headlined by Diego Lopez versus Jean Silva. Moicano looking to fight Michael Chandler next. He's down to do a loser retires match.
Who you want to fight next?
Man, I'll be completely honest with you. The oldest guy on the division, brother.
Who's the oldest guy?
Not Dariush?
Michael Chandler, bro.
Michael Chandler, my brother. I think that fight makes a lot of sense.
There's not a better time for that fight right now.
No, that is not a better time.
Yeah.
That is not a better time for the fight. I have been talking shit for Chandler for so long.
Yeah.
And if I lose to him, brother, I will have to kill myself. That's the... I think that's a...
How about this, bro? Renato Moicano versus Michael Chandler, loser retires.
100%.
Not only are you not in a place in society where you can judge a world-renowned philosopher like myself, you're not in a place where you can judge the taste of a man's sweaty cock after he fucks your mouth for $5. You revolting fucking whore.
After taking the weekend off, the UFC returns this Saturday to Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. Main event, Derek Lewis versus Talshin Teixeira heavyweight contest. 9 first-round finishes for Derek Lewis. He has the most KOs in UFC history, and 8 first-round finishes for Teixeira. Teixeira trying to build a name off Lewis. This fight will probably end in a KO. Teixeira is looking to break the streak of Brazilians losing in main events in 2025. They're 1-9. Well, actually, Mackenzie Dern is born and raised in America, so I would classify her as American. So you could say they're 0-9 in main events. Hebas lost to Dern. Moicano lost to Makhachev. Rodriguez lost to Cannonier. Pereira lost to Ankalaev. Lopez lost to Volk. Prates lost to Gary. Figueiredo lost to Sandhagen. Burns lost to Morales. And last week, Oliveira lost to Topuria. So 0-9 in main events for Brazilians this year. Teixeira looking to stop that this weekend against Derek Lewis. Carly Judice versus Nicole Colliari later this month, July 19th, UFC 318. August 9th, Andre Fili versus Christian Rodriguez. Malinaji versus Good John, September 6th at BKB 45 in Bristol, UK. Frank Mir's daughter, Bella Mir, juggling 3 sports, grappling, wrestling, and MMA. But for her, the end goal has always been to become a UFC champion.
The end goal is UFC champion. That's always been my end goal to all 3 sports that I'm competing in. Right now, I feel like my main focus would be wrestling just because I'm still in college, and I base a lot of my time off of, okay, when is college season over? Okay, I'll do the UFC BJJ card in the summer after US Open and NTAs. So I feel like right now it is based off wrestling because I feel like I don't have much time left. Like I feel 2028, and then it's like, am I going to wrestle after 2028? I don't know. Maybe I just go full in on jiu-jitsu and MMA. So But yeah, definitely MMA is the end goal, and UFC champion, that's for sure the end goal. But right now, I would say wrestling.
Joaquin Buckley says that Ilia Topuria could be on the Mount Rushmore of MMA if he does this.
If Ilia Topuria is able to move up and fight Islam at 170 for the belt, you know, we always talk about, you know, the GOATs, right, of MMA. And, you know, now everybody's opinion is different for sure, right? But, you know, I'm always saying these four names for sure, right? It's John Jones, George St. Pierre, Demetrius Johnson, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? Those are always the four names that I usually hear amongst people. And with that being said, out of those four names, right, if Topuria does what he does and becomes, you know, and gets 3 straps, right, in 3 different divisions, I truly believe he does put himself in a position to become an all-time great. Who you think he replaced off that mountain? Who y'all think he replaced off of that Mount Rushmore? Who it is? I'm just curious.
Well, Ilya's fighting next at 155. He'll defend his title there. He has to win, and Makhachev has to win against Jack Della Maddalena as well. That's definitely not a absolute certainty. Gaethje is looking for a title shot in November at Madison Square Garden in New York City against Ilia Topuria. It's either going to be Gaethje, Paddy, or Arman. Arman deserves it the most. The one that would make the most money would be Paddy Pimblett, and Gaethje's kind of stuck in the middle, but he has a good manager in Ali Abdelaziz, a powerful manager who may be able to pull it off for him and get the title shot. While Joshua Van's fight with Brandon Royval was one of the best fights of the year so far, Van didn't realize it until watching it later and seeing that they went to war.
Oh, that guy's tough, man. When I was in the cage, I didn't think he was like that much of a great fight. But then I rewatch it, I'm like, damn, we some dog, you know?
Yo.
Yeah, even in the first and second round, I heard him a couple times. But every time I heard him, he come back stronger. You know what I mean? So the third round, I was like, because the first round, it was like clear that I won that first round, right? But the second round, that's when he changed his timings and his speed and things like that. So it was kind of like hard for me to readjust again, right? Because I thought I got him already in the first round. So in the second round, he just changed everything. And I was like, okay, let me adjust to it. And then in the third round, like I kind of got his timing, but then he is like, he's not fast, but he's not slow. So his timing is weird. So I have to like, you know what I mean, readjust to that timing as well.
Up next for Van is a title shot against Pantoja. He respects Pantoja as a person and a fighter, but in that cage, you're just not going to give him any respect. And he has confidence in his ability to avoid takedowns and get back up, and his punching skills to make this a victory.
There's no one like me. You know what I mean? The fighting style that I bring and like the no respect. You know what I mean? I don't give respect to nobody in that cage. So, you know what I mean? I respect him as a man. I respect what he done in our division. But when we fight, there's no respect at all.